What's up, guys? Today's day 27 on my journey to 2000, and today I played a bullet tournament, which was pretty cool. I versed a streamer, which we'll get to. We'll see which streamer, and we're gonna play a game too. I think we'll have time for that. So let's get started. For the bullet tournament, there were 12 games that I played, and I ended up placing. Well, I'll tell you after we go through the games. So this was the first game in the tournament that I want to go over at least. And in this game, the big thing I wanted to show people, I guess, was the difference between a 1400 and a 300 rated player. This is for bullet. I'm higher rated and rapid, obviously, but yeah. And the difference is right away, my opponent blunders their knight and then their queen. So it's hanging pieces is an issue, right? And that's after that, the game kind of turns on its head. And I'm not the I didn't find the mate right away. Not even here. This was a mate in 2. And higher rated players probably would find this faster. But it just goes to show like the difference in rating and what that actually means. I wanted to show that. And I also wanted to show a game against an 1800. This guy just demolished everyone in the tournament. Or arena. I'm actually not really sure about the differences. And just from the beginning, I'm just playing it terribly. I mean, you could see the first like 5 or whatever moves are book moves, and then after that I'm just suffering, and my opponent makes the best moves and gets into the position and gets my rook, right? And after I saw that there's not really a good chance of surviving, and I was right. It's hard, and I know it's a bullet game, but it's still interesting to see the differences of how people think. And this is the second game against him. 89, look at all those book moves. All of those were book moves, right? This is my favorite opening, Scotch opening, even though I'm not that good at it. And yeah, here, I have a 55% win rate. I'm better than I thought with it. But anyway, I played with 80.5% accuracy. I had only one blunder, but 89.9% accuracy. My opponent was still winning, and I thought, I'm winning here. I'm thinking, wow, this looks crazy. Like, yeah, it opens up his rook, but, maybe I could take advantage of something. It's a cube. It's literally just a square. And he just pushes his pawns. He pushes his pawns, gets into the position, and just demolishes the protection of my queen. And at this point, I couldn't do anything. And the game shortly kind of... Yeah, I try to fight, and I end up losing. And I supposedly played like an 1800 versus 2100, so that's kind of cool. But that was interesting. Another game against an 1800 here kind of shows how things can flip very quickly. And like, look, I'm just hanging my queen. It doesn't see it, but I saw it right after I hung it. And I get into the position like this. And I'm winning. I'm actually winning, but again, it's like, I feel like bullet, it just plays off your instincts, right? And I saw that there was some move here. And I was waiting to capture here. I didn't recognize that if he takes back with the queen, I take back with check, and I'm threatening his bishop, which is just crazy stuff. And I think if I realized that, I could have won this game. Instead, he pushes pawns, gets into the position like crazy. We both miss some stuff, and it looks like he's gonna checkmate me, and we end up trading queens. And like a bunch of moves later, look what happens. He draws. You know how excited I got here? With 12 seconds each. By the way, this is bullet with a second added every move. So it's actually not as fast as one would expect. He had some time to think here, and I can't move anywhere because the queen covers all my escape squares, and the pawn covers the last one. How crazy is that? So, just goes to show not to give up, even if they're much higher rated. I don't want to stress too much on these games because they are bullet games, but I liked my idea of just supporting the center, and I saw there was no stress, nothing attacking my king, which is why I pushed my f pawn, right? And I castled on that side because I just wanted to not worry about my king. Right away, I just blunder my bishop though, and kind of my advantage looks like it's disappearing. And I try to break into the position, not realizing I could take this pawn for free, and it doesn't really go well. And at the end of the day, after the dust settles, as some people say for some reason, my opponent just blunders his queen, and the game goes on very long, and my opponent resigns after losing his rook. Okay, so I got 3rd place, which I thought was kind of cool. I had 6 wins, 3 draws, and 1 loss. Wow, I only had 1 loss, which was against the 1800. Wait, I lost to him twice, no? I don't know. This is what it says. Whatever it says. Those are the bullet games from the bullet tournament. And I versed this streamer, Hunter Wiz. So we're gonna look a little bit at that game. We're also gonna look at I studied from chapter 3 of the positional chess book that I'm reading. And we're gonna talk a little bit about that after. But this game I think was good for my nerves. Because I was very nervous in this game. Because I'm versing a streamer. Even though I've streamed before, I'm on YouTube right now. I was nervous, and I think it's good to force yourself to be in nervous situations, especially if you're going to play tournaments in the future, which I want to do. I just don't have the money at the moment, but I want to play tournaments in the future, so it's good to get your nerves up. And I'm playing all this normally. I'm taking some time. We're playing a 3-minute game. I'm still up 40 seconds, and at this point, I realize that taking here is a good move. Usually, when the knight is blocked in the Caro-Kann, even though you have the split pawns, you're breaking into the position, and the fight for the d4 square kind of changes. And I'm playing this perfectly. I have an advantage. And then I just slowly kind of fall apart. And I muted the streamer, by the way. I fall apart. I spend like 18 seconds on this move, which is kind of a long time. And it's a really dumb move. I thought, oh, I'm adding support here, but he could just take the pawn for free. So I'm winning here. And I just do this bad move. Apparently, I could have ignored it, get into the position. This is a pin, so he can't take. But also, I'm threatening to take the pawn, then threatening the rook. If he castles, I could take the knight. A lot of crazy stuff, right? And then probably push the pawns and maybe develop my knight and whatever. I don't do that. Instead, he gets into the position. I end up checking him after, and it just doesn't look good. First of all, how crazy is this? I could have ignored everything. And that's just winning. Like, how crazy is that? Right? Now it's not because the queen can take, but well, maybe I would have blundered that actually. But yeah, I don't see any of that. I start pushing my pawns. Look how crazy the pawn pushes are. And here, if I moved the rook away, it wouldn't have come with check. I actually calculate this. My opponent thinks that he has checkmate. He doesn't, because my rook takes, and then my queen blocks, and I'm about to develop my other rook. Apparently, he was supposed to check me, and I think here, just bring the rook back, which is such a clever and hard move to find, with the idea that after this, there's no way to protect this pawn. Instead of that, he checks me, takes the pawn, I get the queen, and it's a queen versus rook game. And my opponent runs out of time. Look at the time. Oh, I should have stressed the time. Look how crazy this is. 4.5 seconds, 1.2, 3.7, 2.6, 1.9, 0.1 seconds. And the game ended. So that was a cool game. I just wanted to show that game. And the last thing was from the book. So one of the things the book mentioned was pawn structure. And it said, imagine your position for positional play, right? To become better at strategy. Just imagine the position with just the pawns, right? And try to analyze it that way. I think it was for a different scenario in a different game, but they mentioned that. So I thought that was really interesting. And then the other thing was, so the position without pieces, basically, just pawns. The other thing was, I analyzed 9 moves in a row, like in my head. I read it from the book, but I saw like these 9 moves in my head. This attacks the pawn. If the queen defends this way, you could sack your rook to get into the position. And I analyzed all of this stuff. I think it was something like this. Something like that. You see, I don't remember it now. But it was so interesting. 9 moves in a row. My brain was like fighting. So that was cool. Yeah. For the rest, we're just gonna play a game. I feel like I haven't played a rapid game in a while, so let's see what happens. But that's what I did today. It was it felt pretty productive, you know. What is this? This already looks super weird. Like this is obviously the Caro-Kann, but this pawn, and I think I've played against the Caro-Kann in this manner. I think if I push the pawn here, or not against the Caro-Kann, with the Caro-Kann in this manner, this pawn pushes, and these 2 pawns become very annoying to deal with. Right? And that's what my assumption is for why this player did that. Now, if I do this and he takes... Wait. If I do this and he takes... I check, because that's the F pawn. He comes here. Yeah. Doesn't that look good? Another thing, check capture threats, right? That's something to keep in mind. I was thinking of this move to come check here, but the difference is the bishop could protect. So let's just come out with the pawn. Just gonna put immediate. Okay, so I'm assuming this person has played this opening many times before. I'm tempted to take, but then he takes control of the center with eyes on my pawn. I don't want to spend too much time thinking though. And then if I push the f pawn, I don't know, man. This is a little bit frustrating. We could go more defensively, pushing this pawn. Let's just do that. I don't want to spend too much time thinking. Where is this person from? Fiji? Jesus. So if takes, I just take back. And I'm keeping some sort of central control. Okay, so he's immediately putting pressure here, probably with ideas of bringing the knight here. So I could push this pawn forward. I could alternatively just attack. If he takes, I take. He could check. And then it looks very, very frustrating. Another thing, I push this pawn, but then he could take and then take. And he's still threatening the same thing. I think a lot of times in this scenario, you could just push this pawn forward. If takes, takes, and I'm attacking his bishop. Such a tricky player, so we're going to do that. We're going to do that. I think that makes sense. Okay. Okay, this looks better. This honestly looks better. I feel like we could take this pawn. And if he takes, we could come with check. We could bring our knight out. Maybe things are fine now. I'm not sure. We could also pin the knight. I kind of like that idea. The queen. Let's do that. Now he could attack. If we take, he comes here. We could take. If he takes, we bring the knight. But then, okay, he doesn't do any of that. I don't want him to take back with the rook. Very, very tricky. We do have this in-between check possibility, which I kind of like because it develops our bishop. So let's just do that. And maybe we'll take here. Now taking here, he takes. I don't know. I don't like it. Taking here looks better. So we'll just... but then his rook's gonna have eyes on that pawn later. Very tricky. Very tricky player. It's okay. We only use 2 minutes of the time, so that's good. Yeah, okay. He pushed it forward. He pushed it forward. Which I should have expected. I mean, I could just come... but then he brings the rook over. I think we should just bring this here. Now, this wouldn't make sense. We take and he can't check us. Let's do this. Maybe castle is the next move. It's a little scary because the rook has access here, though. Okay. You blitz out moves like that. You see how annoyed it gets me when people blitz out moves? Oh my god, it's so bad, but it shouldn't get me annoyed. I want to bring the knight closer to the action. The thing is, when this knight moves, it actually opens up our queen, but the rook can take, attacking both of our pieces, but then we could take threatening the queen. Another idea is just to come here protecting the pawn. Still opens up way. Yeah, and it attacks the pawn here. Kind of like that. Okay, so now he opens up this attack while attacking here. Can't we just take, forcing him to take, and then we take, and then he takes, and then we castle? That makes sense, right? But is it good? Because if he takes back here, he still has the two central pawns. Never mind, that doesn't make sense anymore. We could alternatively just chill back here. Yeah, I think we'll chill back. Because if he comes here, we take the knight. He can't like go forward. If he goes back and he blocks the bishop, if he goes to one of these squares, then he has a legitimate attack here. Okay, he's just connecting pawns. Do we want to bring our queen? Maybe it's better to push this pawn. Also, ideas like this might be interesting. Take. Wait, here. If takes, then take, threatening queen, so he has to take, then takes. But then he could push this pawn. And if we take, it gets super messy. I think we need to get our king to safety. And I don't like, this doesn't look like safety. But this lets me develop my queen. It also lets him take this pawn for free. I don't like this. I'm running low on time too. Let's just do it. What's the worst that can happen? I lose and I learn? That's the worst that can happen. Yeah, we're gonna take here now. Yeah, and now we're gonna take here. Now he could take with the rook, so actually that wasn't a good move. Never mind. I don't know what I was thinking. But I also don't feel like it was the worst thing ever. And I feel like I need to castle now this way. I feel like there's too many things here that don't look good. What if we ignore it and develop our knight? Ignore, develop our knight. Bishop comes here, we attack, he takes, we get the queen. He takes like this, we take like that. Let's just do it. Again, trying not to overthink. He could also just take this pawn, but I don't know. That lets us castle this way, and I don't know why it doesn't scare me. This bishop is pretty useless because of this, but the good news is his knight is not out, his rook is stuck. So if we have access to this, that's checkmate. So he has to be very careful too. Okay, yeah, now we're just gonna castle. This still doesn't work. Okay. Oh! Okay. That's why you don't spam moves, even when you're 4 minutes down the clock. Now, Jesus Christ, what am I doing, man? What am I doing? Okay, I'm just gonna resign. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hate myself. Say gold in the comments if you watched this far. Oh my god, 61.8% accuracy! Because no one plays this move. Apparently you could just continue the Karo Khan. But then I was scared he pushes this pawn. But then c5? c5? What does c5 do? You're playing on this side while he's playing on this side. Jesus Christ, that's crazy. And here you close off the position because if it takes... This actually transitions, this transposes or whatever into the Karo Khan kind of. But not really, because in this case your bishop is blocked in. What a great opening against the Karo Khan. Look how many times they said just to take. So hard to figure that out for me. So hard to figure that out. I saw this move, but then I thought, what do I do after this? Whoa, you attack! You attack because after he moves back, you get the fork! You get the... Are you kidding me, man? That's insane! You get the fork. Wow. You actually get the fork, and then you come here, and that protects any ideas of check. Jesus, I was thinking of the fork, and I'm like, there's no way there's a fork here. Because this is not a fork, but I didn't think that to push the f-pawn, because he has no escape square, and I create the fork again. That is actually crazy. And his best move because of that is to take. Because then he gets this pawn too. Wow, that is some crazy stuff, man. That is some crazy stuff. And I wonder if wow, and I just moved I moved the knight twice. I moved the knight twice. Damn, this is sharp though. This is some crazy stuff. And you could still castle because this is open for both of you, and you're winning. Jeez, man. Pawns. You see, I talked about the position without pieces, and I still missed it. And check capture threat. I should be thinking about her more. Like, I think about her in my head, but when I'm in the game, I don't think about her. You know what I mean, guys? Like, it doesn't come to mind. Oh my god, man. That is so sad. That is so sad. Look at this miss. I still had the opportunity to play this. Oh my god. Wow. And this was just a blunder. I'm thinking it's such a cool move. It's a blunder because the rook comes in and attacks me too. Yeah, I should have just castled. Wow, castling was fine there, really. Yeah, this was just dumb. I had no idea what to do in this position. Oh, I'm losing the rook here too. Wow. Wow. That's some crazy stuff. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and have a good one.